Welcome to Paradigms at paradigms.life, the radio show and podcast that brings you inspiring people with visions of a viable future for life on Earth that includes humans. Hi, I'm Baruch. Welcome to the show. We've got a wonderful guest who's just released a new record, her first record. Her story is pretty interesting. She's been working on this album for a long time. Lots of people have a project they've been working on for quite some time. And this story shows us that with determination and faith and commitment, you can bring that to fruition and make something beautiful and meaningful. So let's meet my guest right now on this episode of Paradigms. Muriel Mwamba, welcome to Paradigms.
Thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. I've been listening to your new record, and it's very beautiful and very powerful, and I'm excited to talk with you about it. I think it has some amazing songs of challenge and growth, and, it's powerful music. Before we talk about it, though, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about yourself. What's a bit your story?
Well, I'm from Zambia, and I grew up mostly in Lusaka, which is the capital of Zambia. I got into music while I was still at school. I wasn't actually going to take it as a vocation, but I really fell in love with it. I started getting melodies and tunes coming into my mind when I was supposed to be studying for my final exams. And basically what had happened is that, my mom had asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to do music, actually, because I decided I wanted to do that. And he says, okay, that's okay, but you have to go to university first, because normally that's what, coming from my background, we're encouraged first, education, school, get a degree, then you can get married. But she had just said, okay, if you go to university first, then you can do your music. But somehow the music just took over, and I got into it. And at that time, unfortunately, it wasn't so well developed. Our music is part of our culture, but it's not something that you do as a vocation. So eventually, when I reached the highest level there, I wanted to go abroad to do the recordings and so on. And that's how I ended up in the United States.
So, wow, your life took a turn you didn't expect.
Exactly, yeah.
This record, Lesa Alomfwa, you took a long time to make this record. There's a lot that went into it. What is the story of this record?
Wow, it is a lot. I don't know how much, I'm sure you must know something about the music industry and how it's just, it's not straightforward. It's shady. But again, as well, I had issues there were certain family members when I came here. I wanted to, follow up with my music, and they didn't really like it. They said, okay, you're here now, go to college, get a degree. They didn't look at the music aspect as something, as I said earlier, it's not something you stand on. So it became very, very hard, and I was homeless, at some point. It was really tough, and I didn't really have work frequently and so on. I wasn't actually even performing after some time for a very long period of time. But whenever I had a bit of money, I would use it to produce, record the songs. And I was fortunate. I worked with musicians who were very receptive to what I was doing, because there's some musicians who are not musicians, they don't listen to you. There's some who already have a conceived idea of how something should go. But I was fortunate in working with musicians who could listen to me as a singer and as a songwriter. And I was able to express what I wanted, rhythm-wise. I would clap my hands and I say, this is how I want this to go. And they were very helpful. And that's how we managed to put the songs together. But it took a long time, believe me, because I think the last time I worked on the album was 2015. So I thank God I was able to get into the studios in 2023, late 2022 up to August 2023. And they would ask me, the engineers, hey, they were looking at, the hard drive. They'll put up the songs and they say, hey, the last time you were in the studio was 2014. And what happened? because I had no money.
Yeah.
Almost. I didn't have anything, yes. So basically this year, I thank God, from late last year, this year, I was able to get some stuff together and complete the project.
People listen to records and they enjoy the music and all that, but I think often don't think about what's the backstory. How did this music get made? And I think rarely do people think, oh, wow, that musician had to scrape together their pennies in order to get into the studio. So this is such dedication. It must have been of great importance to you to make this record.
Oh, yeah. For me, it was a survival, because I had absolutely nothing. And to think about the music, and then I would listen to some of the old recordings I had done, and I'd say, oh my God, it would inspire me, give me hope, give me a purpose. Because as I was saying, I was homeless, lived in a shelter, it was terrible because I couldn't even believe I was in that situation, because I was like, what? I mean, I came from this and I'm at this point like this, So the music inspired me, it really did. And because I believe in God, I would read his word and I would be encouraged because he is faithful. He always fulfills his promises. So that helped me. It's a way you talk to him as well. And you say, hey, you said this here, but look at me, look at where I am. Your word doesn't say that here, So it was able to help me, yeah, and that's what I was able to come up with something,
I'm talking with Muriel Mwamba about her new record, Lesa Alomfwa, and we are going to hear some of the music now, starting out with the title track, and then we'll be back with more conversation. Here's Muriel Mwamba. You're listening to Paradigms at paradigms.life.
Lesa Alomfwa amapepo alaleto mutende umyeho Yesu ichalonga chayafya chibusa wesu eva tuchingirila kukalwani na 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 Lesa Alomfwa uluse makanga yapwa echiliwe konkosha akesula epusha akasuka lolesha ukafisanga akaba chiusa konkosha akesula epusha akasuka lolesha ukafisanga akaba chiusa What lolesha ukafisanga akaba chibusa konkonsha akesila epusha akasuka lolesha ukafisanga akaba chibusa.
Lesa Alomfwa. That's Muriel Mwamba, and that's the title track of her new record. Now we're going to get back to my conversation with Muriel. Well, let's talk about the songs. Let's talk about the music. You know, some of them you recorded some time ago, some of them more recently. My guess is you've been writing them all along, right?
Right. Yeah, that's correct.
So walk me through this record. What do these songs mean to you? What are you telling us?
Okay, the first song on the album is Lesa Alomfwa, which means God hears or listens. And that one, I actually just completed it while I was in the studio, the lyrics and the arrangement. I had somebody help me arrange because it was basically just rhythm, just talking drums, djembe, and percussion. So I needed help with arranging it. But it's a song I started writing a long time ago, actually, like I think in 2003. And I just completed it this year. And it's about just, you know, God listens and he's like somebody who's there for you as a friend when you're in trouble. And he's like a protective hedge around you, you know, when the enemy is attacking you. And he just gives you that strength to go through. So I said, okay, we're going to title it Lesa Alomfwa, you know, God listens, because he did, you know, help me get to this point where I am right now. So basically that's what it is.
Faith, you know, for all of us having some way to believe that our life has meaning and value and that what we're striving to do, especially when it's something we're trying to offer to the world, that this is somehow supported by the universe, by the creation of the universe.
Amen. Amen. That's true.
We'll be back with more of my conversation with Muriel Mwamba. This is the song Twamupepa Lesa.
Twamupepa Lesa, Lesa. Twamupepa Lesa, Lesa, Lesa Kawumba. Lesa Kawumba, Lesa Kawumba, Lesa Kawumba, Lesa Kawumba, Lesa Kawumba. Chalo, Lesa, Lesa. Wine chalo, Lesa, Lesa. Beni nefe, Beni nefe, Beni nefe, Beni nefe, Beni nefe.
That's Twamupepa Lesa from Muriel Mwamba's new album, Lesa Alomfwa. And now we're going to get back to my conversation with Muriel.
Twamupepa Lesa means we worship you, God, or Lord. And that's a song I wrote with my father, actually. And he passed away in 2018. He loved music, my father. But, he was coming from that age where we're back in the 60s and, 70s, that he couldn't take it as a vocation. Even though, like I said earlier, music is part of our culture, it's not something that you and it's tough. You're going to make a living with it, It takes a while. So he was coming from that era, and he played guitar, he used to strum, and he was able to come up with this beautiful melody, which I helped also put together, and the lyrics. So it's mainly just saying we worship you, Lord, and it's like saying you are the creator of the universe. And then it says, forgive us our sins, and that when we die as well, be with us. So basically that's Twamupepa Lesa means. And it was just percussion with a bansuri. It's a very mournful instrument, which gives it a very haunting sound behind it. Yeah. So that's what it means.
Beautiful. And for your father, that's lovely. And then the next one is Ubufi Bulabuela.
Aha, that one's okay. Ubufi Bulabuela. That means lies come back. The rebound is like when you tell a little pork in ear, you don't know when it's going to come back to hit you, in the face. So, and it's just like, the world right now, it's changing and it's going in all kinds of direction. I read this somewhere. I just can't remember. It's like if you want to know what's going on right now, you read your newspaper. But if you want to know why it's happening, you read your Bible. So I put in some words. My mom, because like I said, mommy gave me a Bible, and it's part of my life when I last saw her, because I didn't know I was going to see her, because she died very young in a tragic car accident, and she was actually going to my grandmother's funeral, and she had even told them, hold it, because my grandma was going to be buried on a Saturday, so she said, don't bury her until I get there, So my mom, sadly, on the way, she died in the car accident, and there were like 5 of them in the car, but she was the only one who died in the car. So, but what had happened is that before that happened, I had left Zambia to go to Europe. I was in Munich, and she gave me a Bible, and it was something that I always treasure, and I always carried with me, a small little Rotarian type Bible, because I went to a convent, and they always used to give us Bibles, but she had one that she gave me specially. So I have that in the song, that Mommy gave me a Bible, so not to be idle. Mommy gave me a Bible, just to know what's happening and why things are happening, in the world. Keeps you abreast, actually.
And for her to have given that to you and then met the faith that she met, how meaningful that is for you to have this thing from her.
Oh, yes. And it's just that I remember when my brother actually called me and to let me know that she had passed on, he just said, before she died, she had been talking about you. And he said, whatever you do, don't give up. Whatever you do, she says, don't give up. Because she was always had this positive thing. And that's why there's a song that comes on, Mama. I'm just going forward a little bit.
Yeah.
I wrote that for her because she actually used to say, I dreamt of you. I dreamt you were here. You were in Europe somewhere. You were performing. So I guess those are the things she may have been saying, before she actually died. Because I'd already left to go to Europe. And I was told while I was in Europe that my mom had passed on. So that's the other reason why I kept on going, because it took me over 20 plus years to do this. I remember her, and I said, no, I'm going to finish it for her,
We'll be back with more of my conversation with Muriel Mwamba, but we're going to listen to a couple of tracks right now that Muriel was just talking about, Ubufi Bulabuela and Mama.
I don't know what this world is coming to. As people down the road, they So not to be idle, mommy gave me a Bible. It has a word on everything, very latest on the scene. Better than reading newspapers, there's nothing missing. In the village we say, in the market we say, in the city people say, and the children will sing. Today everything is heading for a change. Better off or worse, people don't want nothing strange. And I'm not prepared for more lies to take care. I wanna tell you now, all I want is a simple truth. Not to be idle, mommy, give me a Bible. Has a word on everything, very latest on the scene. Better than reading newspapers, there's nothing to say. In the village we say, in the market people say, in the city people say, and the children will sing. Oh, fever, mama, in the village we say, in the market people say, in the cities they say, and the children will say, fever, I wanna tell you now, all I want is a simple truth. Not to be idle, mommy, give me a Bible. Oh yeah, there's a word on everything, very latest on the scene. Better than reading newspapers, there's nothing missing. In the village we say, oh yeah, in the market we say,
That one's called Mama. And before that, Ubufi Bulabuela, Muriel Mwamba from her new record, Lesa Alomfwa. And now here's more conversation with Muriel Mwamba. This is Paradigms at paradigms.life.
One of the things that's powerful about this record is the whole album is itself an act of determination, but each of these songs is you sharing with us really a challenge that you've risen to meet, and the next one, Sweet Memories. I mean, that one's in English, so I can understand the words, and it's just beautiful and, a little bittersweet, but isn't life bittersweet?
It is very bittersweet. And it's funny because that's the first song I ever actually wrote. I wrote that when I was maybe 13, 14. I can't remember, but I was young. I was still in school. And it was like I get melodies, they come to me. I was like just on a 2-chord. I'm not an instrumentalist. I don't really play an instrument, but I was just strumming something on the guitar and I heard just 2 chords, of course. And then I could hear the melody, so I was able to write. So that's the oldest of the songs. That's an old one. Yeah.
Coming up, the final part of my conversation with Muriel Mwamba. But first, Sweet Memories.
And when you get there, take a first turn to your right, and there you will see a little bench in the middle of a park. That's where I used to sit and watch the people pass me by. My own world, so far away, far away. I wish I could live those days again, but for memories of smiles and laughter, memories of tears and sorrow, memories of love and after, memories of now and tomorrow, memories, and then you open up my world, I let you in my secret dreams. I didn't know just how much it would hurt me in the end, but I can see how, no matter what I try to say, you made up your mind that you must leave this town and go. If you had only let me there, sitting in my secret world, so far away, so far away, far away. I wish I could live those days again, but more memories of smiles and laughter, memories of tears and sorrow, memories of love and after, memories of now and tomorrow, memories. avec tes grands yeux étonnés. Oh, quand je vis quelle chance avait grandira tes côtés. J'aurais tant voulu te connaître depuis des années. Tu seras devenu mon maître, moi ton esclave passionné. J'aurais aimé vivre dans l'ombre, au moindre souffle m'a prévenu pour éclairer tes heures sombres, fait partie de tes souvenirs. Je veux suivre pas à pas dans tes plaisirs, dans tes tristesses, dans tes soucis, dans tes joies. Si tu savais quand je veux voir les mots de ta bouche adorée, tu me raconterais des histoires sans jamais vouloir t'arrêter. Tu as dit que ta vie commence depuis que tu m'as rencontré, que jamais tu ne repenses aux événements de ton passé. Encore pour moi ces choses qui pénètrent au fond de mon cœur. Oh, mon amour, redis ces choses qui ressemblent au bonheur. Et c'est vrai que là, dans ta tête, rien d'autre ne te plaît, et que jamais tu ne regrettes d'être mon homme pour la vie. Tango Yamawa, Tango Yamawa, Iwe te ati ibiso, asina motema, Tango yako gagite, Petit François tiki bisoye. Ninga nam alapea nam asi anenga mawa. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sango Yamawa, Sango Yamawa, Iwe Cheati Kipiso, Nam Pasina Motema, Tango Yako Gagite, but if on Swati Kivisoye. Baninga nam anapea nam asina nenga mawa oh 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 yeah yeah
That's Liwa Wechi. Before that, J'imagine. And before that, Sweet Memories from Muriel Mwamba's new record, Lesa Alomfwa. And now here's the final part of my conversation with Muriel Mwamba.
I'm also struck by what you just said. You know, you're not an instrumentalist, but the music comes to you and you are inspired and you listen to the inspiration and you follow it. And I'm saying that just mainly for listeners because I think it's true that many people hear music or poetry or something comes to them and they think, well, I don't really play an instrument. I don't know how to do this. And so they just let it go. But
Exactly.
you kept with it. And so there's something powerful in that and hoping that for more people.
Yes. It's like I was listening. I like to watch Channel 13. They had one of the groups, I don't know, songwriters from Philadelphia. And he was just saying, you don't plan a song, or as you say, even poetry, sometimes it just comes to you. And then you write, like if you're writing or you're creating something. Like I used to just record on a small little like tape recorder, or now I use a phone sometimes because a melody will come to me, you know. And it sometimes when it comes to you, you think you're not going to forget it because it's very familiar. But you have to jot it down, an idea or whatever it is. Otherwise, you lose it. Yeah.
It's so easy to forget those things. It happens to me all the time. I get an idea and it's like, oh, I'll remember that. And then later I'm
exactly.
like, what was that?
it's gone. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, your story is so powerful because you come from a culture where music is so important, but it isn't this like it is in the West, this celebrity culture, you know, and then you traveled and you experienced different parts of the world and this music keeps coming to you and through you and you have this thread of continuity that you didn't lose and gradually making one song after another and being homeless and working hard to scrape together enough money to get into the studio for a couple of hours because it's expensive. I love that you are so committed.
You know, sometimes I used to look at it like I'm in the middle of the ocean and I cannot afford to drown. I have to reach the end. I have to keep on swimming, you know. That's how I used to feel, is that I'm going to drown if I don't finish this, you know. Just have a sense of purpose as well.
Well, life can feel that way.
It does. Yes,
yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I think everyone can relate to that. But that is such a powerful image, being in the middle of the ocean, and I'm not going to let myself drown.
Yeah, I'm going to swim to the end.
Well, let's talk about one more song. You pick.
Well, I like Je m'imagine. Yeah, I heard that lady sing, again, very young. My father had an album of hers, and when I was in London at some time in England, I watched a documentary on her. I was so impressed. I mean, she had soul. Like, you listen to Aretha Franklin, but she was a French singer, obviously, but very good, very good. So, the first song I'd heard from her, my father had this album it was like a compilation that the UN had done with various artists. And I heard her song, Je m'imagine, and I just love that song. Because, you know, some songs can take you to a different space, and so on. So I loved it. So for me, that was my biggest challenge because we totally rearranged it. I worked with a Senegalese bassist, musician, who is very, very good. So we were like, we got to change this. Because if you listen to her original, it's totally different. The arrangement and so on. The only things that we kept the same are the lyrics. And we changed maybe one lyric, but basically the whole music, the instrumentation is totally different. So for me, that was my biggest challenge, and I was very happy with it. So I always feel very proud about Je m'imagine. I love that song.
I take it you are no longer homeless.
Well, I'm still under that thing. We're working at it. I do have a caseworker, she checks up on me because we're still trying to sort things out. But, I had to move out to a different place, which was safer. So that's where I'm at.
Well, I hope that this record brings you enough financial success to end up in the home you want.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I do too, with your help, because you're giving me at least some, coverage. People will hear about this album because it's been very tough. Yeah. No, but I really appreciate. Thank you so much for even asking me, to do this interview.
It's my honor, and I also think it's so important for people, especially in the U.S., we see people on the street who have no home, and because they have no home, they don't look dressed nice, they may not be clean. People have judgments and reactions to that, but we are all one step away from being that person.
It's true. Because you don't know what's going to happen. It's true. Yeah.
And so the compassion that people can have is so important, and recognizing the humanity in each person you see. You don't just step over them. You look at that face. That is another person. That is a mirror. That's all of us. We are all really one. But it's so easy. Humans forget that. We think of ourselves as individuals and not as a whole. And I think it's
That's true. We're one body. That's true. Even in the Bible, it says that we're a one body. When one part hurts, it's going to affect everybody else.
Yep. And when one person has healing, that is for everybody too.
It's true.
Your music is saying, what I got from this, and I'm glad to hear more about it, you talking about the songs, but what I got from it was, life is hard, but life isn't only hard.
Yes.
And we don't deny or avoid the pain and suffering because you can't. But also, I like what the Buddhists say, don't suffer over your suffering. Like, don't immerse yourself so in the suffering that you forget everything else.
Right. Like, we shouldn't dwell. You can fall and just feel it for a bit, but then you have to have resolve to get up and keep going. Yeah.
Yep. And that's not always easy. In fact, that is rarely easy.
It isn't. It's up and down.
It is.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary film last night about the musician John Batiste. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
I've heard of him, yeah.
If you get a chance to watch this film, it's called American Symphony, and it is so moving and so beautiful, and he is so brilliant, and I'm going to try and get an interview with him. He's big. I probably won't. But the point is...
Don't think you
will.
I hope
so.
You will. Yeah, you will.
Well, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has something of beauty and amazingness within them. And sometimes people don't even honor that within themselves or recognize it. But we all have the ability to somehow, because we are one, to be a vehicle for creativity, which all comes from the divine.
Yeah.
However you think of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my point is just let us all remember that. And to remember means to make whole. So when we remember, we are making ourselves whole.
True. That's true. That's well said, yeah.
So are you performing now? Are you working on the next record? What's happening?
Right now, I'm trying to get people to hear this album. And because we just finished, and then I had a release on October 27th, the album release. So we're just trying to promote and market it so people can hear it. And I have ideas for the next album, but it's pretty tough because, I had to, get all the funds together because, the deal I have with the label at the moment is just a distribution deal. So basically I had to, carry everything on my shoulders. So I was thinking after I finish, I could go home and just have a little break, mentally, physically, and spiritually, just to refresh myself. So I'm just trying to get things together. Like I'm looking for an agent, manager, but mostly an agent, and also just to get my stuff on the internet sorted out properly so that we have consolidate whatever information that there is on the internet on one page. So we're putting stuff like that together right now.
Well, I'm really glad I get to be part of bringing this to people because I think it's beautiful and you bring all of your heart and spirit to it, and that is of great value beyond measure.
Oh, Baruch, and I appreciate that you're able to have an interview with me because this is a great help for me.
It is my pleasure. Thank you so much for talking with me and for bringing this music into the world, and I wish you all the success and more opportunities to bring more of this music to us.
Oh, Baruch, God bless you. No, thank you.
Muriel Mwamba, thank you so much for talking with me, for being on the show and sharing your really wonderful new record, Lesa Alomfwa. Muriel is a person who is inspired by her faith and by her experiences, and that's so beautifully human. I hope you'll check out the whole record, Lesa Alomfwa. You can find Muriel on YouTube at Muriel Mwamba, MurielMwamba. Let's get this person out of shelter housing. Seems to me that would be a really great thing. Beautiful music. Thank you, Muriel Mwamba. This whole idea of having a project you work on for a long time, I just completed one. It's an audiobook of Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. It's voiced by myself and Starhawk, who's a wonderful author and activist and permaculture teacher. I hope you'll check her out at starhawk.org. But I hope you'll visit the webpage for The Prophet. It's theprophet.life. Proceeds from The Prophet will be benefiting a number of worthy organizations. You can see all that on the website. All right, before we listen to one last track from Lesa Alomfwa, Muriel Mwamba's new record, I'd just like to say that the word for the week is determination. That's a really powerful kind of focus. Notice where in your life you are determined. All right. The song is J'imagine, which Muriel talked about during our conversation. Let's listen to that as we close out the show. Baruch signing off for this episode of Paradigms. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next time with more inspiring people. Until then, let's really be determined. Notice our determination. And be well.
Do you feel, do you know what it takes to hold on for tomorrow? The pain, the despair, and the fears that come with each day when no one seems to care and no one wants to know the trials and temptations that come with each day. No, they won't let go. No, they won't let go. Let the spirit that talks to your heart assure you good things will come your way. The bad days will all seem just like one when God is calling you to come His way. Then discover. Is it wrong to have dreams? Is it wrong to believe in what they offer when friends cheer your family back? So world is weighed up against you this time. You gotta hold on real fast, 'cause the trials and temptations that come with each day. No, they won't let go. No, they won't let go. Let that spirit that talks to your heart assure you good things will come your way. Then that peace will all seem just like one when God is calling you to come His way. Yeah, come my way. Come His way. Let the spirit that talks to your heart assure you good things will come your way. The bad days will all seem just like one when God is calling you to come His way. Yes, God is calling you. Come my way. Yeah. Come my way, you say. Ba-dee-da, ba-dee-da, da-ba-da-ba-da. Come His way. God is calling you to come His way, 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 way. Yes, He is. Oh yeah. Come ba-doo-da, ba-dee-da, ba-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Come my way, come my way.
You've been listening to Paradigms at paradigms.life.